Video games are hard, and Valorant is no exception. Trying to learn these games are impossible, as there are hundreds of things to learn and perfect, while also not even knowing how the game works. Valorant is a special in this case, as it combines the properties of a shooter, abilities, and strategy. In this video, I will explain 1. How to properly use guns, 2. The economy, 3. Agents and their abilities, and 4. And lastly, how to play on both sides as your role. Valorant isn't like other shooter games. In Valorant, there are many gun mechanics that are different than other games. One of them is called first bullet inaccuracy. This is when you shoot your bullet, but it's not perfectly on their head. So as you can see, my crosshair is on the enemy's head, but when I shoot it, there's a chance that it doesn't hit their head. Like, see, there, it was on his head and it didn't hit it, but now it did. It hit, it missed. It hit, it missed. So this is a very annoying mechanic, but it makes it unique from other shooter games as it relies less on being 100% precise with your gunplay rather than relying on your abilities. Second is that in other games such as Fortnite, guns, you can move and shoot with them. But in Valorant, this mechanic is different. You have to be standing completely still for your gun to be accurate. If you are running, this is how your gun's accuracy looks. Your bullets go all over the place. But if you stand still, your bullets are 100%, well, not 100%, but they're mostly accurate. Valorant's gun mechanics also have multiple other qualifications. One of them is called strafing. So this is whenever, after you take a few shots and then you move to the left or the right. This is so that the enemies have a harder time hitting your head. Whenever the enemies are strafing, as you can see, it's much harder for me to shoot them because they're constantly moving. In a real game against real players, this would be like demonstrated as whenever you and the enemy are taking a fight against each other, whoever's aim is better and whoever has better gunfight hygiene will win the fight. Another gun mechanic is different guns have different usages. So obviously, this is an AR, this is a rifle. Rifles are used for medium to long range and are most effective at those areas, and they're most effective at taking straight gunfights. There are other weapons like snipers, like the Marshal and the Operator. These are used for longer range and to take more accurate fights with your scope feature. I'll demonstrate that now. There's also other guns, such as the Bucky, the Judge, and the Shorty. These are shotguns that are best used for close range fights and sitting around corners to kill enemies very quickly. In Valorant, there are also other mechanics such as economy. Economy is whenever you buy specific guns and utility on different rounds to save up money for the next rounds. So in this scenario, I am in the range to practice area and I have infinite credits. But in a real game, you would usually have about 4,000 credits. Now, what you want to do is whenever you are playing a game and you see you're running low on credits and you don't have enough money to buy heavy shields, full utility like I have, and a gun like a Vandal, Phantom, or an Operator, depending on what you want to use, what you will do is something called eco or half buy. So a half buy is whenever you buy a worse gun such as a Spectre, Judge, Stinger, Bulldog, Ares, or Marshal, and you use this for the round and hope to kill the enemies by using their strengths. So for example, if I was on a half buy and I was using the Marshal, I would take a fight against an enemy over there with this gun, like doing this. And it would be much harder for them to kill me with their AR, which are less accurate from that range. Or I would get a shotgun and I would come sit in this corner and wait for the enemies to run by, and then I would kill them and take their weapons for the team. Jet specifically is one of the best in the game, or used to be, because she specializes in abilities like her dash. Her dash allows her to peek any angle and kill enemies and then get out of there extremely fast without taking any damage or dying. Jet also is entry fighter for her team, which means she's the one who goes in first and kills all the enemies. Other characters, such as Cypher, Chamber, or Sage, are Sentinels. Sentinels' jobs are to hold down a site and to catch the flankers from killing your team in the back. Every Sentinel has a piece of utility that is designed to stop the people that are flanking from flanking, or to give you information on if they are coming. So, for example, I'm playing Cypher. Cypher has 2 tripwires and 2 little cages that act as smokes, like this. If an enemy touches your tripwire, it'll activate and it'll tell you where they are and who it is. If they shoot it, it breaks and it gives you a indicator on your screen as character. If you are playing Cypher, it'll say your tripwire has been broken. Cypher also excels at defending sites on defense, as his 2 trips, when they catch people, if they don't shoot it, then they get stunned. So he excels at holding down sites because he has 2 cages which pop and they completely cover the area and no one can see them. He also has a camera which allows him, whenever he goes into it, he can see anything, and he can also use a shoot button, which what the shoot button does is if you hit a player, an enemy player with it, it'll tag them and it'll put a little tracker dart in them. Now other characters such as Brimstone, Viper, Omen, Astra, and Harbor are all controllers. Now controllers' jobs are to smoke out areas of the map and help their team take a site. No, Valorant has 2 sides. Each team will play one side for 12 rounds. There are attackers and defenders. On the defenders' side, your goal is to hold down a site from different angles and stop the attackers from planting, or kill all the attacks. Now on attackers, you only have one objective, and that is to kill the enemies and get the bomb down and let it explode. Different agents have different roles, or different like goals. So as a duelist, your job would be to go into site entry and kill the enemies and let your team get onto site, killing them. Now other agents, such as Skye, which is Initiator, their job is to help their duelists get on site. Because if there are multiple people on the site, one person is not going to be able to kill them all. So their job is to use flashes, drones, or any initiation utility to get information on the enemy team and help their duelists get onto site. Now controllers, like Brimstone, Omen, Astra, their job is to smoke off places. So for example, say you're peeking this. There is 1 spot, 2 spots, 3 spots, and if you're running out, 4 spots that you have to cover, but that enemies can shoot you from. So what controllers do is they will put down a smoke bomb right here. And what this will do is this will block enemies' line of sight, and if they go out of the smoke, then they're exposed to all of your team and you can kill them. Now Sentinels have a different role. Instead of running in with their team, Sentinels primary objective is to 1, hold down the flank, as I've mentioned already, but 2, Sentinels have an optional objective, which what they can do is after they put their utility down to help their teammates, they have an option to lurk, which lurking means they'll go onto a different site or the middle of the map and then take this part of the map. That way they have full control over this side, and then they will go up behind the enemies while they are rotating over to the other site, and they'll shoot them in the back, and then they get free kills. And that is how you play Valorant. I hope by watching this video you learned how to play the game and effectively understood all the core concepts of this game in general. Thank you Bye.